in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the truth on desire with the law of attraction, and something that a lot of people don't talk about in the law of attraction community. This is something that I think will change the way you see the process and also help you to resonate more with what you want to experience in a completely new way. Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the truth on understanding desire in the law of attraction process and a new way for looking at it so that you really start to create what you want from a place of resonance. Now, the reason I say resonance is because when you look at the law of attraction in general, an underlying consensus of the law of attraction is that desire is one of the keys to success. Now, at a certain level, desire gets the energy moving. So when you hear people like Tony Robbins talk about how you have to be hungry, it will move energy. And even the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, where he talks about having the white hot burning desire. Now, these are certain ways for going about the process, and they will still get you results, but that's if certain things come into play, and many times it creates blocks that then people have to jump over, and sometimes those blocks can make it so that it takes a lot longer than it has to. So basically what I'm saying is there's a better way of going about it that comes from a higher level of consciousness, a higher vibrational state of being, to where things happen in a much easier way. Last night I was reading a book before I went to bed, and that book was talking about the Tao Te Ching, and it was talking about how that means the way, the balance. It's this certain way that we're going, and it talks about how there were these two extremes. Anything that's on either side of the extreme drains us of energy. So sometimes, if we have a strong desire for something, we may actually be draining our energy if we become identified with it and if we base our internal state of being on whether that thing happens or not. You see this a lot, and I see this a lot because I'm in this community. I make videos on YouTube about this, and I get people that ask me all the time, how do I attract a person into my life? I really want to attract this. How do I go about it? And I can tell many times that people feel drained of their energy because they're putting so much into what they want to create in their life. However, what I'm learning is there's actually the better way that I'm talking about, and it has to do with more of something that has to do with an observation point of view. It comes not so much from what you want, but why you want what you want. What is the why underneath you? Why would you want what you want? Well, it's most likely because whatever you want the emotion that it brings you. You want the feeling that that thing will give you. And the key is tapping into the feeling, knowing that you can generate the feeling of whatever you want simply by deciding to do so. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means is a lot of times what we do, what I do, and what I used to do a lot, I'm getting better at it, is I used to always say that when something happened in the future, then I'd be happy. But that's deceiving, because then when the future gets here, I've already been conditioned to not be happy with certain things, and then the mind always jumps in and it ups the ante. So whether this is something like achieving goals when it comes to a certain dollar amount, you may get to that dollar amount that you make per month or per year, whatever it is, and go, this is just normal for me. This doesn't feel as I thought it would, so I'm going to up the ante even more, maybe another 15% more on top of that, then I'll feel better. But it's just an if-then thing in the mind. If this happens, then I'll feel better. And that's a rule that we place on ourselves, and if that rule comes to fruition, or if we abide by that rule, then we'll feel good if we accomplish it. But the key is to understand that we can feel the emotion that we want right now, and by doing so, we then resonate more with the reality that we want quicker than ever. So when it comes to desire, I would say that normally what happens with people when they have a strong desire is they remain in one of the first levels of the law of attraction. And that is the being here wanting to be here, desiring for being over here, and feeling unconsciously that you don't already have that which you want. Think about it in terms of resonance. If you are here saying, I want that over there, you're also saying, I really, really want that. You're also saying, I really, really don't currently have that. And the key and the secret to this whole process is knowing that that over there, whatever emotion that over there will bring you, you can feel that satisfaction, that happiness, that gratitude right now in the present moment. And by feeling that emotion now in the present moment, you will eventually get there. But the key is to not need that thing in order to feel happy. Because if you need it, then you're also saying that you haven't changed. You see, we always get a reflection in our life of what we believe to be true, and we always get a reflection in our life of who we are being. And as we know, if we look at a mirror, we can't expect the reflection to change before we change. We must change first. And the same way, sometimes what we do is we're like, hey, I've changed. But then we're peeking to see if the reflection changes. And we're waiting for the reflection to change before we'll actually change. But we're like, hey, I think I'm changing. And we'll look at the mirror, and it hasn't changed yet. So the key is to, regardless of what the mirror reflection is doing, to change anyways, because here's the thing. There's a gap in between what we perceive on the mirror. We have time-space reality that we live in. And of course, time at a certain level is an illusion. But there's a certain momentum that we have built up from prior experience. And that momentum continues to play itself out. So sometimes you'll be looking at the mirror, you'll be getting the old reflection, saying, I know I've changed, but if you're not actually changed on the inside because you're waiting for that to change, then the change hasn't happened yet. Now, it's a paradox, because when you don't base your internal state of being on what is externally happening, when you don't base it on that, that's when everything will change. And paradoxically enough, things will happen even easier. But you have to learn to generate the emotion from within, because when you generate the emotion from within, that's when you actually resonate with what you want to experience. Now, there's another process that I teach that's called reality transurfing. There's a book called Reality Transurfing, written by a quantum physicist named Vadim Zeland in Russia. It's becoming more well known because I'm making a lot of videos about it as well. So a lot of people are starting to learn a lot more about reality transurfing. And one of the things in there has to do with understanding this balance of desire, importance, and intention. So normally what we do is if we say, I really, really want that, like I said, we're saying I really, really don't have that. But what we also may be doing is be putting things on a pedestal, saying this is very important. I really hope this happens. I really hope this interaction with this person I have a crush on goes really well. I really hope it does. And if we put them on a pedestal, we then create this resistance. We create this potential for resistance. Everything in life has a certain level of what could be called the yin and yang. If you look at certain traditions, there's this balance, this polarity. And anytime we push it to one side, there's another side that comes in to balance it. So if we're draining ourselves of energy because we really desire something, there's this pull to come back to the middle. And in order to come back to the middle, sometimes that thing gets taken away from us. Because that's what in reality transurfing is called this balance of coordination. Anytime we put something on a pedestal, balancing forces come into play because there's something called excess potential. Balancing forces, metaphorically speaking, come into play to balance that out. So how does it balance it out? Well, sometimes we just won't get that which we want because we're also saying in the present moment, I don't currently have that which I want because I really, really want it, which means I really, really don't currently have it. And because we're saying that, what happens is we must get to the middle way. There's a very strong correlation between the Tao Te Ching and that of reality transurfing. I was realizing this last night when I was looking at the principles. Because it's about this middle way, this middle balance of going about things. Now, here's the thing. In reality transurfing, desire isn't powerful. Desire is only powerful if it is translated into intention. Now, what's the difference between intention and desire? Now, desire is an energetic thing that can sometimes move energy. However, it many times causes blocks. But it's an emotion, it is a feeling that we have that then allows us to focus. Now, intention, the difference between desire and intention is something that we actualize. It's something that we move energy towards, that we take action with, or something that we move energy with. Whereas desire is simply it's a thought. It is something that we think about. But in the same way, this is the analogy they use in the Reality Transurfing book. As I'm here right now, if I have a desire to put up my hand, that desire is not powerful unless I translate that desire into intention. Intention is the realization of that desire. So sometimes desire will get us to that intention. Desire will get us to take action. Desire will get us to feel a certain emotion or to desire and focus in a certain way. But if we move our hand like this, that's because we had the intention to do so. We have realized that desire. So the key to this whole process is understanding the movement from something that may be a desire into that of intention. Now, when it comes to the process of desire and the law of attraction, let's understand another aspect of getting results with what we want with the law of attraction. It's something that I really believe is the most underrated, one of the most underrated things when it comes to this process, and that is focus. Focus. Anything we focus on grows, and in order to become successful, it requires quite a bit of focus. But a lot of people will focus for a little bit on something, then move away from it. Therefore, it just grows a little bit. Think of it like you're watering something, but you're watering something that is able to continue to take in water, so you're not over-watering it. Sometimes people might work a little bit too hard and create the resistance, but in general, the more you water it, the more it grows. But some people, they'll just trickle a little bit of water on it and then run away, and then come back 3 weeks later and be like, see, it didn't work. Law of attraction doesn't work. I wanted to go full-time with my passion, but it just didn't work. Well, it doesn't work if you just trickle water on it every 3 weeks. Now, the more that you focus on anything, the more it grows. The reason that Steve Jobs, Warren Buffett, a lot of success people have said that you have to do what you're passionate about is because whatever you're passionate about, it is so easy for you to focus. And that focus will then grow, and then even when it appears to be hard, you'll still focus through it. That's the key, is focus, because in the process with desire and the law of attraction, many people will have a certain focus for a period of time, but then shift the focus when a little bit of resistance comes up. The key is to redefine that resistance and to know that it's part of the process. And that the more you allow things to happen, the easier things will be for you. So when it comes to desire and the law of attraction, understand that desire is only powerful if it's translated into intention, which means into the realization, into the energy movement of it, and to being able to actualize that which you are desiring. And you can even just think to yourself right now, I intend ... What do you intend for in your life? I set intentions throughout my whole day. When I get up in the morning, I set an intention that I have a great meditation. In my meditation, I pre-plan out my whole day and I set intentions for certain segments of my day. So I set intentions to have a great time filming videos, set intentions to enjoy editing the videos, to getting work done on my business. I set intentions to enjoy going to the gym, to getting things done the rest of the day, whatever I need to do, or spending time with family, whatever it is. I set those intentions because then that equals and that influences the rest of my day. And I find it to be very powerful. But the key is to set those intentions because the intentions are going to help you realize whatever your desires are. So desires can be okay as long as it's moved in a certain direction. Many people stay in phase 1 of manifestation, which is just the thought of it. This isn't about thinking, this is about being. This is about encompassing the whole dynamic. how you think, how you feel, and what you do. All three of those make up who you are. And we get a reflection of who we are. So the key is to know why we want what we want, and then to break that down into an emotion. So for example, if we want more money, we could say, how do we attract what we want and have desire for it without emphasizing that what we want isn't already here? The key to this is understanding this is more about resonance, and the key to this is understanding whatever you want brings you a certain emotion, so choose to feel that emotion right now, because you can choose the meaning you give to things in your life. And when you choose to feel whatever emotion that is, so if it's money, for example, money brings you what? Most people, for me, it brings freedom. Freedom to do what I want when I want to do it. For some people, it brings security. The feeling of feeling secure and safe. For some people, when it comes to relationship, that represents to them connection, compassion, love. You can feel that right now by focusing on things in your life that are already there that allow you to feel that emotion. And by doing that, you will attract what you want quicker than ever, because you are more so resonating with that. So this is about understanding that you can choose and give yourself permission right now to release what you want. The serotonin, the dopamine, with your focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. Start to focus on things you already have that have the vibrational basis of what you want to experience, and you will then be translating that desire into intention. Make the choice that you're going to set more intentions in your life. You'll start to move the energy in a very powerful way. And understand that this goes beyond that of just what you think. This is about who you are. And when you begin to see it from this point of view, things will happen easier than ever. What I also encourage you to do is to go down the middle way, what they call the Tao, the way. Go down and don't give it excess importance, excess meaning. See it as a natural part of who you are. See it as something that doesn't have to drain your energy, because you're going down the middle way. You're not really wanting it, really thinking you don't have it. You are just going through the process, observing your thoughts more than anything else. And you'll find that things happen easier than ever. You have the power to do it. You have the power to move the energy with your focus. And I'm confident that if you do, you'll experience more of what you want in your life in a much faster way. So, with this process, something else I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing more live Q&As on Instagram. So if you haven't followed me on Instagram already, go ahead and follow me. I'll be doing live Q&As there. I also post daily content there as well. So if you want some additional content, you'll see that too. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little notification here so that you can see the daily videos I do. The way YouTube does things now is you actually have to hit that button to see the daily vids. And other than that, as always, peace, much love, and namaste.